All right, I think we're live, bro. All right. Here we are with Mr. Christopher Barr, the Penalty Box Fit man, founder of penaltyboxfit.com, an awesome client and acquaintance of mine. I think we've got to know each other pretty well by now, huh, man?
Yeah, I'd say so. I
Awesome,
mean,
awesome. So what we're going to do in this video is just kind of go over Chris's journey here. You came to me for some help with e-commerce related marketing, scaling ads, building out funnels and that type of stuff. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into that. And really, we don't want this to just be, a showcasing of results. What we're going to do is actually talk about some of these things and the assets and different strategies you put in place to actually make it effective, right? Because just running good marketing really isn't the whole piece to the puzzle. So not only is this going to be an interview, a case study, but it's also going to be educational. So if you're watching this and you're running ads online, you're selling e-commerce products, you have clients who are selling e-commerce products, or you're just running traffic in general, this is going to be valuable for you. So Chris, why don't you introduce yourself here and let everyone know who you are?
yeah, thank you, Kory. My name is Chris Barr. I'm the creator of Penalty Box Fit. I created it about, I want to say 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, I created Penalty Box Fit. And I was just a trainer at a local gym at Planet Fitness, and I would just bring my clients in there. And I would watch a lot of like Sean T videos with like the agility ladder where it was like 4 links. And
Yeah.
what I did was I took that ladder and I was like, what if I put it into a box and then make up my own exercises with it and then have like my own clients come in and like do like all these different like movements, agility movements, help people lose weight and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I started to like it, but I was like, how can I make it fold up? How can I make it go up into a hurdle too? So I had a 4 square box, but it was just like anyone could do that. Anyone could put like chalk down or like a tape or something like that. So it was like into a hurdle. And then that night I walked into my room and I saw like a binder like this, like a binder.
Okay.
Like, oh, perfect, dude. If I can get like the plastic inside this material and just have it like fold out, just fold up like this, it was perfect. So
Wait,
I
so,
did
so
that.
you had a binder laying perfectly in that same spot?
I wouldn't be saying the same spot, but yeah, I had a binder from like school shit, you know what I mean? Because when I went to
Nice.
school and whatnot, so I had like a binder there, and I was like,
Nice.
now I had the idea, so I was wondering like, how can I make it like happen now? How can I like actually create it? So I went to Joann's Fabric, got the materials, and went to Lowe's, got the materials for the plastics, and I actually met a lady in Joann's Fabric who was like, yeah, I can make this on my home sewing machine. So I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
sweet. So
That was the prototype, right?
yeah, that was a prototype. Spent about like $125 on it, and it was good,
Nice.
not good. And then after that, I went to the patent attorney, did all that legal stuff, and yeah, I mean, met my business partner. Went
Yeah,
to
so just to clarify, you are not drop shipping. You have a fully unique patented product. You even flew to China, right?
yeah, flew to China with my business partner to get it obviously manufactured on a bigger scale so we can start selling and whatnot. So yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that stuff's not quick either. And I like that too. I come from the e-commerce space. When I started out, drop shipping was really big, and everyone's in this space and thinking it's simple. And now you look at companies who really have their stuff together, and you got to be willing to go that extra mile and really create something unique. Yeah, I love the product you have too. And you're in the fitness market, which is super competitive. I mean, arguably one of the most competitive online markets, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I haven't been in any other markets, obviously, because like this,
Right, right.
but like,
Any good market's competitive, right? So it could be relative, but yeah, I mean, fitness is just like is huge, especially with Instagram and all that. So that's awesome. You made headway into there. Now, when you came to me, kind of just describe, I mean, what point you're on your business and why you came to me. And I know you'd worked with some other people before. I mean, we don't got to mention names and do that whole deal, but I know you had kind of sought out help and tried to run some ads on your own and just try to do the marketing thing online alone. What did that look like trying to go at it yourself?
no, yeah, definitely. I mean, I never really took action at it myself at first because I really didn't know. I kind of knew, but I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know
Right.
a lot of different like things that you could do back end, like a lot of hyper targeting and whatnot like that for your business. And I used these other people, and I mean, obviously, I mean, it didn't work out. So I was asking my one friend, his name was Lorenzo, and he said he worked with you doing
He's gonna
ads. Yeah,
he's gonna hate you for saying that because it's Lorenz. It doesn't actually have the O in it.
well, same shit. So
Well, yeah, he
Lorenz,
was a student of mine too.
oh, was he?
Yeah, that's how he connected you to me.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Lorenz was one of my students. Yep.
I thought he like worked with you with like SEO and stuff too or something. I don't know. Anyway, I know him from the gym, and he was just like, yeah, like you should hit up Kory, like he knows his shit. I'm like, should I take the risk again and spend money and trying to do it? And I did, and I'm very thankful I did because you helped out a lot, bro. And not only did you help me out with like different like audiences, like and finding which one to target and how to target and like excluding people, including people, and like getting like a more like specific like to start out, but you also taught me how to do it in the process. It's not like you just were doing it yourself.
Yeah, you have
You
a good understanding of it now. Yeah, you launch a lot of ads now, on your own. I just kind of guide you through it.
No, yeah, you give me more ideas to like put forth, and like yeah, you pretty much showed me how to like do all the ads myself now, but it's great that you now showed me because you could just guide me along with it. I mean,
Yeah, it makes sense. That's how I
it,
like to work with people. I don't like to leave people in the dark. I mean, I think that, look, I mean, if you were like, like a dentist or a lawyer and you're full time doing your thing, but at the end of the day, like, you're building this company, and so I think it's, you should know how your acquisition's coming into play. I think that's really important, because it's an asset for you. So, and I see a lot of people, in this space, they try to like hide that from the business owner. And I think the reason that we've been so successful just working together and scaling your brand, and we'll talk about that in a second, is because we work together, right? Like, I don't know your fitness market that truly well as you do, but I know my stuff really well, right? So if I can show you how to break down ads, how to break down copy, how to do effective targeting, right? Do the whole nine under that umbrella, and we can work together as a team, it gets really powerful at that point, right? I just see so many times in the marketing world where there's like this split in between the client and the provider, and it's either the business owner not having trust or the marketer not wanting to lose the client because they feel like if they figure this stuff out, they're not going to want me anymore. And then really you just never see optimized results, right? But when I always preach, if you can work as a team, right? And even with our other agency clients, if we work as a team, it's going to be way more effective, right? You're not going to be left in the dark. We're going to have better results. You spend time doing what you're good at. I do what I'm good at. Yeah. And so it's led to an amazing point. What were you roughly doing like in online sales when you first met me? I know you were kind of just like starting off there.
I don't know, like $100 a month.
100 bucks a month. That's crazy. So
I have a screenshot. I was like, I still have it on my phone. It was like my first month. It was November, and I just started selling the product. And I'm like, shit, how am I going to sell it? Because I did have a business partner who was supposed to help me, but didn't help me. And I was really left in the dark with like, how am I going to sell this product? Like, I know it's unique. I know it's great. I know I can do it, but
yeah,
were my monthly sales of November 20th, 2017. I don't know if it's showing up or not. I don't know
I
if
think you gotta like turn your phone a little to the side. Like, no, not that sideways. Like, give like an angle, because if
oh,
you if you do it straight on the glare, yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, it's
all right,
there.
so right there. So it's like $264,
Yeah,
dude.
they believe you.
$164. And I'm sitting in my room just like thinking to myself, like, what am I gonna do? Like I was like, I don't even know. So yeah, like $264 a month, probably, maybe 500 a month.
Okay.
With
And
like
then I know we talked a little bit before this call. What are you, right? It's September 29th, 2018. Just for this month of September, what have your total September sales been?
$57,000 this month.
57 grand. That feels good to hear, man. That kind of gave me the chills, like you just had like $500 a month. Like you just had 57 grand in a month. And I always tell you too, to like, and I think it'll feel better now that you're like, saying it, like it feels good, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, just in any business model, you get a result and then you're as a growing entrepreneur, you're like, okay, where's the next bar? Where's the next thing? But
You're amped up. Like I'm
yeah, you
pumped.
got to slow down and breathe though, because like that's amazing, dude. I mean, do you know how many people like start businesses and don't even do $500 a month, let alone
I
get it
know.
to the point where and now we're going into Q4, the holidays, it's going to be amazing. And then I know in 2019 you have some new
Triple.
additions and products you want to add so you can scale
Mhm.
and increase that average lifetime value. So that's amazing, man, to hear that. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, thank you. I mean, you obviously helped me with it, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but that's what I want to talk about. So we're able to do that. We're able to scale profitably with ads. You're doing really good, and your ROI is really good too, with what you're spending versus what you're getting.
Mhm.
But like what I want to talk about is so you brought me in. We did some marketing stuff. I showed you position your funnels a little differently. Let's run traffic and do these different things, and so that started to help. But what makes a situation like this really successful again is that teamwork. So I kind of want you to break down on your end of things. You're a powerhouse with content. You're going to events, you're doing these things, you're going above. It's paying off, right? Because you go do your thing, you get me awesome content, I turn it into a successful campaign, everybody wins, right? So I want you to kind of tell the audience, as a business owner, how important not only diversification, unique product positioning, but how important is it to go grab unique content, work with influencers, and actually push yourself as an authority figure into the market? As opposed to just relying on marketing and data and those types of things. Like, talk about that side on your side where you're making content and doing all that.
Yeah, I mean, so like marketing, obviously, like you can't market something you don't have, right? You need like good quality content
Yeah, I love that.
market. You know what I'm saying? It's just common sense. So, I mean, going to like different events that I went to a couple different events, like different conferences, like whether it was physical education school conferences. I went to fitness events. I went to training
Nice.
events. I went even, dude, even if you can't spend like money to go to these different events, you could
Right.
always go like, down the block, get a good video with like your friend or something, as
Yeah.
long as it looks legit and you have your branded content. Like I'm wearing Nike right now, but like if I'm wearing like Penalty Box Fit right now, it's my content, it's my brand right there. And then you want to include like your brand with like successful things. Like you want to include it with things that people like. You don't want to just include it with anything, right? So you want
Right.
to have a nice background, say. You want to have someone like if you have like a sports product or something, you want someone who's good at sports use
Right.
the product. You don't want someone who's obviously overweight using your product, because then that wouldn't make sense.
Right. Right.
Using like these little factors and like these psychological like factors and whatnot into like your content and marketing is very important. So I mean that's definitely like hands down that's common sense, but not a lot of people like think about it too much like that. But
Well, I think they think about the content. I think the next part, what I wanted to get at was, so they think about the content, and now here's what's really interesting. Let me ask you, out of 10 content pieces, how many are going to be effective, right? Sometimes two, sometimes three, sometimes six, but
mhm.
not every time you've made content has it turned into something that's been as profitable as another piece. I think that's where people get hung up because they put out a couple pieces, it doesn't work, and they're like, oh, this stuff doesn't work. You got to find what works. We put out a video with, oh my gosh, I mean, the trainer from Dr. Oz, and I know we had stuff with just a video of you in it that performed a little better, right? And nobody really knows you yet, right? Now they're knowing you as the owner, but like you would think Dr. Oz would have possibly more leverage, than your own self, but for that audience, it didn't, and the only way you find it out is by making both pieces of content
I also
and,
think
and putting it out there.
Yeah, and I also think like the first 3 seconds of any video that you create has to be like the most like effective attention grabbing 3 seconds ever. Like you're not gonna make a
Yeah.
video where it's like a lead up video and it progresses to get sick. You want to make that first 3 seconds sick because then that's
Yeah.
going to stop someone and watch it. That's the most important part. And I think that's why the video that I did versus the Dr. Oz video was better, to be honest, because the first
Yeah.
3 seconds, it was more of like an introduction versus, hey, what's going on, guys? Did you see this before? Kind of like grabbing people's like, attention because it's a thumb stopper, right? Everyone's
Yeah.
scrolling on Instagram. You want a thumb stopper where they stop and they watch your stuff.
Oh,
So
I
I
love
think,
that. I'm going to steal that term from you, a thumb stopper.
yeah, thumb stopper, dude. Like
Everyone heard it here first. The thumbs, you need thumb stopper content. You really do, right? I mean, look, so much traffic. I mean, a lot of our traffic is coming from mobile.
stimulation, dude. Everyone's looking on Instagram. There's so much stuff. Everyone's trying to sell you stuff. Like you got to have something different. Like, so for an example, like a good thing to have is a face. So if you have your face on the camera when people are scrolling and you're
Yeah,
talking, they'll stop because it's a psychological thing.
that's
Like
true.
if you're in person and someone like stops and says hi to you, you're gonna say hi back. So it's like a
Right.
face looking at you. So people just stop and look. They did a lot of like tests with like babies and stuff, and I read a lot of books. So like when they looked at babies always looked at people's faces more than they did at different figures or whatever else. So definitely like have a face for like even if you're using it as a thumbnail for like a video, definitely use a face.
Yeah, yeah, that's good insight. There's a really, and this is a little off topic, there's a really successful ad going around right now in the personal hygiene market. It's for a toothbrush, and the first bit of the ad is a cob of corn. They end up taking the cob of corn and using it to show how good the toothbrush is. But it's like, what is this big piece? And it's behind, and like someone's face is right behind it too, you know, because it's a lady who's testing the brush. So it's like this giant corn on the cob and then like a face, and you almost just have to watch it, right? And like, who watches a video on brushing teeth, right? That's pretty boring. Except this video has like millions and millions of views because it's, again, that attention grabber is pretty important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah, attention grabbing. It has to be. So definitely.
Yeah, I like that. I know working with, going to these events, and you even got on some TV stuff. That's more of the influencer side of things. Explain that to us. I mean, how important do you think it is to be linking up with other authority figures in your market?
Well, I mean, it's definitely like another cognitive bias. I mean, it's definitely something that everyone needs because it brings credibility. Credibility is definitely something that everyone needs for their products or whatever they're trying to sell, even if it's themselves. Like being associated with figures that people know,
Yeah.
they trust and like you more once they know that you're associated with something they like and trust. So it just makes sense that, to be like with these authority figures is definitely makes you more credible and more professional.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Um, so with that, so we have content, we have marketing pushing in. It was really cool. Was watching the data work, especially on Facebook. So remember what I told you in the beginning? I told you, and it's funny, now I have a new catchphrase, and this is from another one of my clients that they said cash is king in business, but now data is queen. And it's true, right? Because I told you at first, you'd have some ads going, and this was when we first started out, and you had a couple ads, and they were profitable, but not as profitable as they clearly could be. And I was like, just leave it for now. And you're like, why? And I was like, let that pixel work, right? Like if you're getting a customer, even if you're making $5 profit, that pixel firing is going to be worth 5 more customers in the future. Like I could almost guarantee it, right? So I was like, let that data collect for now, right? At scale, we're going to want to be a little more detailed, right? With our ROI and the numbers and the metrics. I was like, right now, if you're at least profiting just a little bit, let that data run. And then now here we are months down the road, and what's happening? We're literally doing really broad targeting, like audiences of 10 and 15 million people, just turning it on, letting it go.
62 million people with personal trainer just alone.
Yeah, exactly. Going after really broad audiences, and the pixel, right? Is, I mean, we're getting customers in for like less than $5 on some of these campaigns. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, of course it's awesome, right? Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome because, you look back in like 2014, 2015 e-commerce ads, right? Like someone to get a customer for a few dollars, that could happen, right? It was really good. And it was like, oh my gosh, and now it's really hard for that to happen. And then so I see all these people on Facebook, and they're like, oh, costs are going up. Well, listen, with any good platform, media buying platform, the more demand, right? The supply is going to get higher to get. So that's inevitable, right? But good brands, good companies like your own, we're still getting customers in some cases for less than $5, less than $10, on average between $12 and $15. And that's just crazy, man, right? And again, this all ties back into the content, being consistent, getting in there with authority figures, and then testing and being willing to test like crazy. We launch a lot of different ads, right? At this point, we're launching like new ones every day, I feel like.
No, yeah.
We're either scaling or launching or turning something off.
We started retargeting ads, which is the crazy part, because we weren't even like retargeting all the video views that we're getting on our one Instagram ad. So our one ad got up to 5,000 views now, or it got up. No, it's at 414,000 views right now. And then we had to scale back the ads just now because we ran out of product, unfortunately. And that's obviously.
Well, it's pretty good you ran out of product. Well, I mean, you want more, but it's pretty cool to say it happened.
Yeah, it is cool, but it's not cool that I don't have it now, because now we can scale back the ads. But I mean, yeah, we're gonna run that ad probably and get up to 1 million views on that ad, and just keep running.
Yeah, that's something I like doing too. I think with retargeting, and this is again my opinion, so I'm sure there's some expert watching this who's like screaming out their window right now. But my opinion, right, with retargeting, And at least in your space, when you look at the average lifetime value of the customer and just your space in general, I think you should start the retargeting at a certain point, right? I mean, because especially with e-commerce, right? You do it too soon, and it's like, you know, I would rather take the budget and allocate, and I want to go wide, right? I want to throw this net in the water, right, and see where I can catch my fish, right? Start scaling up there, because here's the cool part. We know with a good product, we can be profitable in a cold audience. And what happened? You know, we found a couple cold audiences that were like really profitable. I was like, let's scale these, right? We build that data, and now we start sprinkling on the retargeting, and like purchases are flying in for like $2 on the retargeting ad. And that's just, again, so there's facts to back up my theory there, right? I think that retargeting shouldn't be done too
So you have
quickly, right?
target. I mean, it just
Exactly. You
makes
don't have right. Yeah, I'm not going to retarget people who engage with a
target
quarter of my content.
like some insight, as in like, well, there's two things. Like, I guess like there's intangible skills, and then you need practical skills. There's a little bit of both, like believing in yourself kind of thing, but then like you got to get rid of that shit and then just really think about like the practical, tangible skills that you need. And that would be marketing, like learning how to do like these ads, learning how to like work with someone else and like be transparent with people, and learning what causes people to buy. Like, why do people want to buy? Like, you could literally sell anything if you know the different cognitive biases that people have. And
Yep.
I mean, if you can master those and put it into like a web optimization funnel, I mean, you're pretty much leading someone right to a sale every time. So that's really important. And then obviously the mindset and believing that you could do it yourself is important, because the first like 6 months, like I was just sitting in my room, like thinking to myself, holy shit, like I got to get this done. Like I know I can do it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I needed those tangible skills in order to do that. And that's when I met you, and you helped me gain those tangible skills as well. And we worked together to get where we are now. So I'm really thankful for that. 100%.
Awesome, man. Yeah, awesome. I just wanted to get you on camera here, and just hear that story from you. That's really cool. Yeah, I've enjoyed this a lot, and definitely looking forward to continue working with you and scaling your brand. Yeah, guys, so this is Chris from penaltyboxfit.com, and I think we'll wrap it up there, man. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Kory.